Down the Rabbit Hole, based on Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Carroll, tagged. The afternoon was drowsy with summer heat when I first noticed him, a peculiar white rabbit in a waistcoat, muttering anxiously about being late as he hurried across the meadow. I had been lying beneath the old oak tree, half listening to my sister read from her book of history, when this extraordinary creature appeared, pulling a pocket watch from his vest with unmistakable distress. Oh dear, I shall be late," he exclaimed, and before I could properly process the remarkable fact that Arabic was speaking, and wearing clothes no less, he disappeared down a large rabbit hole beneath the hedge. Curiosity, that fatal flaw of mine, compelled me to follow. The hole seemed ordinary enough at first, but as I tumbled deeper, it stretched impossibly long, like a well that had forgotten where the bottom should be. I fell past shelves lined with books and empty jars, past maps of places that couldn't possibly exist, floating down through darkness until I landed with surprising gentleness on a pile of dry leaves and sticks. The underground hallway I found myself in defied all architectural logic. Doors of every conceivable size lined the walls, some tall enough for giants, others barely large enough for mice. In the center sat a glass table bearing a tiny golden key, which I discovered opened the smallest door of all. Through its keyhole, I glimpsed the most beautiful garden I had ever seen, with bright flower beds and cool fountains, but I was far too large to squeeze through. It was then I noticed the bottle labeled "Drink Me" in elegant script. The liquid inside tasted like cherry tart, custard, pineapple, and roast turkey all at once, a flavor that should have been dreadful, but was somehow delightful. As I drank, I shrank to a mere 10 inches tall, perfect for the tiny door, but now unable to reach the key I had foolishly left on the table above. The cake marked "Eat Me" in current solved one problem while creating another. I grew so tall my head struck the ceiling, and tears of frustration pooled around my feet. When I shrank again, I found myself swimming in my own tears alongside a peculiar assembly of creatures. A mouse, a duck, a dodo, and various other animals, all thoroughly soaked and seeking dry land. The mouse attempted to dry us with what he called the driest thing he knew, a tedious recitation of William the Conqueror's adventures, while the dodo organized a caucus race where everyone ran in circles until they were declared winners and awarded comfits from my pocket. The absurdity of it all was beginning to feel almost normal. My next encounter was with a blue caterpillar sitting atop a mushroom, smoking a hookah with the air of someone who had solved all of life's mysteries and found them rather boring. He questioned me about my identity with philosophical intensity that made my head spin. "Who are you?" he demanded, as if this were the most important question in the world. I found I couldn't answer with certainty. After all the changes, growing, shrinking, swimming in tears, I was no longer entirely sure. The caterpillar seemed to find this perfectly reasonable and directed me to eat different sides of his mushroom to control my size, advice that proved both useful and terrifying when I accidentally stretched my neck above the treetops and was mistaken for a serpent by an angry pigeon. Each encounter in this strange realm challenged everything I thought I knew about logic, manners, and possibility itself. The Cheshire Cat appeared and vanished at will, leaving only his maddening grin floating in the air. The Duchess spoke in ridiculous moral lessons, while her cook threw pepper with reckless abandon. A baby turned into a pig in my arms, which seemed perfectly reasonable given everything else that had happened. This world operated by dream logic, where impossible things happened before breakfast and nonsense made perfect sense. I found myself adapting to its peculiar rules, learning to expect the unexpected in a place where normal was the strangest concept of all.